Have a look at this. This is the Honda Africa Twin Adventure Sports variant. This is the Honda CRF 1100L. Oh yeah, catch inside. RevelatorAlf. Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. Hope you're enjoying the channel in this series of videos. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and check out the website RevelatorAlf.com. So here, yes, I'm looking at these bigger bikes for possibly off-road riding capable, but also in the tourer range as well. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go yet, but I'm looking at this Africa Twin, and I've got to say the ride up here just so far has been an absolute treat. There's lots of variations of this bike, lots of variants. You can have shorter screens, taller screens. You can have manual transmission gearbox, or you could have this dual clutch transmission thing, which is an automatic transmission as well. Depending on the variant, the price goes up and up and up. But base price for this is £13,000, but you can be looking at £16,000-17,000 plus, depending on the variant which you go for. It's a 1084cc engine, lovely. Now it's got an engine, it's a parallel twin, which is cranked over at 270 degrees, and it's a liquid cooled 4-stroke, and it's got 8 valves as well. Oh yes. Now this bad boy engine will pump out 100 horsepower, and you really do notice it, and 105 newton meters. So it's got lots of grunt, lots of power. The power is low down, the weight of the bike is low down, although you sit on the bike and it is a big hefty thing, just like all adventure bikes are. You don't feel the weight up top like you do on some bikes. It's actually a lot lower down, which is nice. Good engine protection there with that guard, and also good exhaust protection as well. Got to say, the clutch on this manual one and the gear changing was silky smooth, really nice. Okay, let's look around here. It's got a chain drive, 6-speed gearbox. You could also have a quick shifter on it. As I say, you could also have that DCT, which they call. Now, interestingly, Honda challenge any rider to take out the manual version, then take out the automatic, the DCT, and they challenge them, any rider, to see if there's any noticeable difference in their ride. So that's really interesting. This bike has got it all: traction control, ABS, different rider modes, as you would expect. It's got a lovely LCD TFT screen up here, lots of modes, fantastic. Okay, suspension, front suspension, upside down forks, 230mm travel, and you can change all that in the settings as well. Rear suspension, it's got a monoshock there as well with 220mm of travel, and it's also got a manual adjust on that one as well. Out of all the big adventure bikes, this is really the one that you'd say, wow, this is a bike that is really designed to go off-road as well, and I mean properly off-road. It's got tubed wheels front and rear, and 21-inch on the front, 18-inch on the rear, both spoked wheels of course. Brakes, you got dual discs at the front, 310mm with 4 piston calipers, and on the rear you got a single disc, 256mm with a 2 piston caliper as well. I do love this exhaust, how it's upswept like that. Very nice. As for the frame, it's got this semi-double cradle frame as well. It just looks really nice. It's got a double-sided swing arm as well, so it all looks good. I mean, it is a big bike. This is a big adventure sports bike of this variant here. I mean, it looks really nice. It rides really nice. Lengthwise is 2,334mm, width 961, height 1391, seat height, which is adjustable, 850 to 870. I've actually got it as they gave it to me on the lowest setting, and it is a little bit too low for me, but I'd say it's still perfectly rideable, and it's actually a nice rideable and comfortable ride on this height. And you've also got different seat options for 825 to 895, I think, as well, so fully adjustable for, you know, the height that you are, and also your leg length as well. And the wheelbase is 1575mm. Weight is 226, so it's heavy, but certainly not as heavy as some other big adventure bikes out there. Tank, it's got the 18.8 litres tank. There are different variants with different size tanks options available as well. And fuel consumption, well, you know, if you're going on the tour, it's about 40 to 45 miles per gallon, something in that range. And as I say, it's got the full TFT screener here, lots of connectivity. You can get it onto your phone as well. You can Apple CarPlay onto there as well, so that's all really good. LED lights all over, so that's all really good as well. Look, the best thing to do, instead of just fawning over it, let's just go and ride it and see what it's like, shall we? Oh yeah. Ignition on. Screen does its bit. Oh, look at that. Whoa, very nice. And on the start switch. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Now I've got it on tour mode, but you select all the different options by this control panel here. You can go up or down, change it to urban, gravel, tour, user 2, 1. You can save your settings here, whichever one you want to go for. I'm just going to keep it in tour. You got the power, the engine braking, you got traction control, ABS, all here as well. So everything's all here. This screen as well is also touch sensitive, as opposed to being heat sensitive. So you press on it here and it'll go up to whatever different setting that you want on there. All really good. It's got cruise control as well on this side. It's all really nice. All the light switches, it's all very easily reachable as well, as you would expect, of course. But anyway, let's go give this a go, shall we? Oh yeah. Wow, this has got lots of power. If you love your twin engines, the twin cylinder engines, I tell you what, this is so nice to ride. That power delivery is just rumbling through, very torquey. And also the weight is low down, so it's got a lovely balance in the bends. This is what you want from an adventure bike though, that's really road capable. You can sit on it all day, which I feel you can do on this. It's really nice. It's got great power delivery. You'll go into the bends. Oh, really nice, really nice. Braking, beautiful brakes, lovely and smooth and precise. Suspension, it's I would say for the road, I wouldn't say it's the smoothest, I would say. I mean, if you're talking about tourers, you want a touring bike, then you kind of, it's not the most smooth, but actually it's really nice as well. You're getting lots of feedback from the road, which is what you want, really, don't you? You don't want something that you can't tell what's going on. Very nice indeed, this bike. Lovely. I wasn't sure what to expect. Big adventure bikes, you know, I sometimes wonder, wow, do you know, are they really good enough off-road? And this one has a lot of pedigree, but also because the weight is low down, you don't feel as if you're having to really struggle to manhandle it. It appears to be very light. It appears to be a bike that you can get onto the gravel, onto the trails and whatever. Obviously there's going to be a point where you're going to have to manhandle it, and it's going to be quite difficult because it is a big heavy bike, of course, you know, but at the same time it doesn't feel like the other adventure bikes. It feels a lot nicer, a lot lighter, a lot more flickable, as it were. And the power delivery, I've got to say, the clutch here is silky smooth. I'm on the manual, of course, but you can have the automatic DCT transmission. But this is just so nice on the back roads, on the long tour, 2 up, oodles of power. This is going to be a bike that you're going to enjoy, definitely. But for me, it's not only about whether it's a good tourer, because if I want just a tourer, I go get a tourer. I don't get this bike. But if you want something that's going to be on-road and off-road capable, which is kind of what I'm leaning towards again, then I've got to say this is right up there. This is right up there. I think people are going to buy this are going to be big twin fans, twin engine fans, twin cylinder fans, I should say. That's what they're going to be. They're the ones that are going to come after this one. Now, obviously, riding adventure bikes is not all about the big adventure, the big open road. You're going to have to navigate through city streets, urban streets, whatever, small country lanes. You know, you're going to have to do all this stuff. And it's big enough to have a commanding presence on the road, but it's also light enough to be able to you know, get yourself in and out of traffic. Look, just moving this around left, right and centre. Nice and easy. If you're going off-road, you can stand up on road really easily. Lovely control here, and you can change in gears. Nice, very nice indeed. So those of you who really want to do your adventure bike standing up, great. And you can sit down as well, really nice. I wasn't sure what to make of this bike when I first rode it, or when I proposed to ride it. I thought, well, do you know what, adventure bike, Africa Twin, yeah, Honda, but it's so good. You definitely get the impression with this bike that it's really good on road, but it's equally really good off-road as well, up to a certain point. And let's be under no illusions here, these are big adventure bikes, so they're always going to be limited off-road, okay, to a certain degree, but also especially in the hands of an inexperienced rider. Now when I say inexperienced, I don't mean somebody who's fresh to riding or fresh to off-road riding. You know, I'm talking about, you know, you watch the promo videos and they're all basically, these guys are all pro riders, or they're stunt riders or whatever. You know, most people are just not at that level where they can fling bikes around. And also, what I always say to people is this: to say, fine, you watch a bike that's really capable because it's being ridden by somebody who's really expert, but also that's not his bike, so if he drops it and damages it, he's not paying for it. Whereas your bike, this is going to be your pride and joy, isn't it? So you're going to be nervous about taking it off-road, and you know if you drop it, and guess what, you take it off-road, eventually you will drop it, you're going to have to pay for the repairs, or accept, you know, the damage and the scrapes that you get to it. So that's fine if you're ready to do that, but a lot of people aren't. So, you know, people kind of get these bikes, but they never take them off-road for what they're intended for, because it's so capable. But the limitation is not the bike most of the time. Actually, the limitation is the rider, and that's what we've got to, you know, factor in here. It's effortless at slow speed. It's got the power when you want to, you know, twist it on, give it the beans. It's got the power. But when you just want to oodle around, it's lovely. It's absolutely, you know, a delight to ride, really. What I like about this bike, what I like about adventure bikes full stop, is that I know that I can go anywhere on this bike, pretty much anywhere, and I'm not really going to cause any damage to it as long as I keep it upright, okay? With this bike, I feel that I could go just that little bit further off-road, and I feel because the weight is lower down, it's not so top heavy, it's going to be a lot easier. Out of all the adventure bikes that I've ridden, in terms of off-road capability, just by a sense of riding it, just by how it feels, this is the one. This is the one that I would lean to more than any other bike right now. There's a very close contender to this, and it's the Triumph Tiger 900, which is different power delivery, different everything, but it's a similar kind of feeling on that one. But this is just really nice. You open it up and it just pulls along. It pulls like a train. It really does. I mean, you just get right up there really quick. On the brakes, really super nice brakes, really grippy. Suspension and the braking really nice. In the bend, lovely. Away we go. Whoop, lovely. Really powerful pickup. Oh, lovely. I want one of these. I want one of these. Oh, crikey. Oh, pheasants. Oh, catch the pigeon. All right. This is so good, guys, so good, really is. You're on the back roads, and say you feel comfortable on the road, you feel comfortable on the biggest high-speed roads, you're going to feel comfortable on the back roads, and you're definitely going to feel more comfortable on this on trails, definitely. As long as it's sort of hard, compacted trails, you'll be fine, definitely. You know, my thoughts will never change in that. To get into the serious stuff, you need a much lighter bike that you can manhandle around. But I kind of think that this bike, this adventure bike here, this Africa Twin, has kind of got leanings towards its much thinner and lighter brother, as it were, younger brother. You know, it feels a big bike, but it also knows that it can be a light bike and operate like a light bike as well. But you just roll it on and it's just great. Look, I say the clutch changing, fantastic. This manual, silky smooth, gearbox silky smooth, absolutely lovely, on point. I mean, just listen to that roar. Oh, lovely. Very nice. On the brakes. I tell you what, I tell you what, fantastic. Whenever I'd go off-road, I'd always want to be really stealthy, really kind of, you know, I don't want people to know I'm there. I just kind of get in and out, enjoy my off-road riding, and away I go. But this exhaust growls, and when you open it up, you want it to growl, and you want it to go more and more. The gears are really nicely spaced as well. A little bit shorter on the first button to second, but then it progressively gets more and more. So, you know, as I say, this is what you expect from this kind of bike. The power is on point. You know, you're not going to use this power when you go off-road. It'll all be dialed down anyway if you choose the gravel or the off-road mode selection, of course. You know, and that's what you want. You want to change the settings, the suspension settings, and all that kind of good stuff. And as I say, you know, you can get up on the pegs here and you just riding along all day, knees onto the tank, and it's just really nice, really nice. This screen is a delight. It's got the sunshade on it as well, but it's a nice one. The seating position on this, let's say, you are slightly, it's almost like it wants your crotch to get closer to the tank, but it isn't. You're kind of being held back. You got this step up for the rear seat as well, for the pillion seat, so that's kind of a nice little support for your lower coccyx, or the coccyx area of your back. So it's nice. Lovely stance here on these bikes, nice and wide, nice, lots of control. This big tire at the front is giving you lots of authority on the front as well, but also stability in the ride. I think if you're looking at a big adventure bike, you've got to look at what kind of riding are you going to predominantly do on it. Now, if you think that you're going to use it off-road to a certain degree, but you're only going to use it on sort of light trails, inoffensive trails, let's say, and maybe only when it's dry and all that sort of stuff, then yeah, you can go for any of the big adventure bikes. If you think you're going to go for something a little bit more than that, something a bit more adventurous, then I think this Africa Twin with this you know, twin cylinder engine, it's kind of where you should be aiming at, really. Now, if you're thinking about serious off-road, seriously challenging stuff, then just stay away from any big adventure bike, okay? Because whilst they are really capable, they are so much like hard work, and it's okay if you're going out with a group of people, going out with a group of friends, and you know, you're going out with a group of friends, and if you get into trouble or you get stuck, then all your friends can help you out. But I always look at it like this: if I go out on a bike, I'm going to test it to its limit when I'm by myself, and if I'm by myself, I've got to be able to get in and out of trouble. And with the big adventure bikes, and this will be no different, you'll get yourself in some seriously difficult places. You'll have a better chance on this of getting out of it, because it's a little bit lighter. It seems to be a little bit lighter, easier to handle, but it's still a big adventure bike. All adventure bikes, okay, all adventure bikes, it's about this kind of thing, going from point A to point B on the road, and then you can do some off-road trails at the end of it. A really small bike, like an enduro bike, is for predominantly doing off-road trails and small short distance commutes. That's what you're using it for. Different sort of bike, but one is more capable on road than off-road. and one is more capable off-road than on-road. Okay, and that's the way you got to look at it. You got to look at what you're riding it for. If you're just looking for an upright riding position and a touring bike, you're never really going to go off-road. Then get yourself a tourer. You'd have much more better touring application on a tourer than you would on this. But this is like, you're thinking, right, I'm going to go on a tour, I'm going to go my daily commute, I'm going to do all these kind of things, but I'm going to show everybody, yeah, I can still get dirty with the rest of them. You know what I mean? I like this bike, I really do. Look, all I can say is this. Final verdict, this windshield on this variant, great. Manual transmission, great. I'm sure I've ridden their DCTs before, Honda, and they are really good. Braking, fantastic. Say clutch operation, gear selecting, shifting is on point, really good. Suspension, lickety split, really nice, really nice. You get used to it. First of all, I thought it was a bit hard on the road, but actually not. It's actually really nice. Braking, it's not too much diving under braking, really good, and ABS works a treat as well. This screen and the functionality of the screen, when there's big mode selectors here, all works really well. There's so much tech on here, you can't do it on a review. It's almost like you need a separate review just for these TFT screens now. This is definitely a bike that you want to do this on, and you want to go across on there. You know, this is the bike. All down there. See, if this was my bike now, I would have pulled over and gone straight down there. Well, obviously if I'm allowed to, of course, but you know what I mean. You know, I would have no reservations. This is what I'm trying to say. I'd have no reservations about taking this off-road. But, you know, you've always got to go in eyes wide open, of course, with these things. But I'd have no reservation. It's that good. It's that good. Right, I hope you found that useful. This is the Africa Twin 1100. Wow, the Adventure Sports version, variant. It's that good. It really is a good ride. Enjoyed it thoroughly. I could ride this all day and just, well, you know, I'll never get tired of it. Lovely riding position. You're upright. Back is great. Nothing on the wrist. Beautiful. Lovely ability to, you know, pinch the tank or grip the tank with your knees. It's just a really nice riding position, so it gets my thumbs up. Really is a contender if I go this way now. Really is a contender, you know, for limited off-road capability, but you know, great longer distance riding if I need it. Really good. Right, anyway, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Check out the website RevelatorAlf.com, and I'll catch you again on another video coming very soon. Maybe, you never know, do a lot more riding on this, because this has been really impressive today. Really impressive. You kind of get that feeling about a bike really quickly, and you kind of get to know what you want and what you need. And of all my experience of big off-road bikes and light off-road bikes, this kind of is one of the best big off-road bikes that I've ridden. Very close to the Tiger 900, I would say, from Triumph, but this is really good. You won't be disappointed on this one. Right, anyway, catch you again. Ta-da.